Okay, so this is the 40th 6th edition battle report, so we thought we'd do something a little bit different. So this one is going to be 5,000 points per side, just about fitting everything on a 6x4 table. I think if we go in any more than that, then it's going to get a bit well, it is already tight. But anyway, 5,000 points. Standard kill scenario, so at the end of the battle, we need to work out the attrition and go from there. Sam Terrace will be joining me, and he's going to be running my chaos. So he's got 5,000 points of my chaos on the table. I'll be running Night Goblins, led by Skarsnik of Eight Peaks, because to be fair, I'm running out of space to put any more goblins down, so I took a character. So that's basically going to be the way the battle is going to sort of pan out. We're going to slightly truncate the battle report as well, so this is going to be more, if you like, kind of like in a White Dwarf theme. So what we'll do at the end of each phase, we'll tell you what's happened rather than you seeing every dice roll. Reason behind that, 5,000 points is going to take us probably most of today to actually get through. And obviously at the end of the day, when it comes to the video, you don't want to be sitting there watching 3.5 hours of people rolling dice, so we're going to truncate it down quite a bit. Alright, so it's a slightly different format for the 40th, and obviously if you do like the channel, do like and subscribe, and do check out the Facebook group as well. Alright, so we'll see you soon, and we'll show you the forces and the setup. Okay, so here is the forces lined up. On the right hand side we have the Night Goblin force led by Skarsnik, and on the left hand side we have a Chaos force led by an undivided Lord of Chaos. So we'll go through both lists roughly. So Chaos, on their right flank we have a Chaos Giant, a Spawn of Chaos, and 3 Chaos Trolls. We then have a Hell Cannon, Undivided Chariot, and a Nurgle Chariot. Behind them we have a block of 16 with the Mark of Khorne Chaos Warriors. Then have a 16 block of Undivided, Nurgle with a Chaos Sorcerer, Lord, have Nurgle in there. We then have a Chariot of Khorne. We then have 16 Chaos Marauders, a Demon Prince of Tzeentch at the back, which obviously is level 4. 5 Warhounds in front of 5 Chaos Knights of Khorne. We then have a block of Marauders with a level 2 Undivided Chaos Sorcerer. He has the Law of Fire. We then have Shaggoth, 5 Marauders, unit of 5 Chosen Knights with the Chaos Lord on Mounted Beast, and then we have a unit of 16 Tzeentch Chaos Warriors, and then on the far side 10 Chaos Warhounds. So that is, I think, 4,997 points all told of Chaos. Okay, over to the Night Goblins. Okay, so on the Night Goblin right flank we have 3 River Trolls. We then have a Chariot. We have 3 units of 5 Wolf Riders. Now they do have light armour, so they're not fast cav anymore. We have a Pump Wagon and another Night Goblin Chariot. Well, it's technically a Goblin Chariot. We then have 20 Squig Herders. 20 Squigs with the respective herders. We then have 4 Stone Trolls. Into the blocks we've got a unit of 30 Spearmen, and this unit has a big boss in there. We then have a unit of 20 Archers with a level 2 Shaman. Another unit of 20 Archers. We have a unit of 30 Spearmen with Skarsnik and the big boss BSB. He's got a war banner. And then we have another unit of 30 Spearmen with a level 4 Shaman. Unit 20 with a level 4 Shaman. Both the Shamans are running the big War. Obviously the little guy, the level 2 is going to be running little War. At the back we've got our reserve, which is another unit of 30 Spearmen and 5 Wolf Riders. 2 units of 5 Wolf Riders on the edge of the hill. A Chariot, bolt thrower, 2 rock lobbers and a doom diver. We have a loose level 2 wizard or shaman. We have another level 2 shaman in a unit of 20 archers. We have a giant, 3 river trolls. The spider riders are representing the fast cav option that I've got, so they've not got the light armour, so they're fast cav, and then another unit of spearmen behind, and probably a few fanatics and some squig hoppers, but who knows. Right, okay, so that is 5,000 points on the nose of Night Goblins. So Chaos won the roll off and elected for the Night Goblins to go first, so turn 1 Night Goblin coming up. Right, okay, so Orc and Goblin Movement. Basically everything's pretty much moved up on the left flank. The trolls actually did pass their leadership check of 4, so they ran forward. Other than that, everything else sort of generally moved forward. The only unit to have failed its animosity was the unit with Skarsnik in, so they just basically stood still and obviously hampered the advance of the Wolf Riders who were behind. I say everything else moved pretty much further forward. The trolls failed their stupidity, couldn't move at the time as the unit was in front of them. So they just held on the right flank with a little bit of organisation there. The Snotling Pump Wagon rolled a massive 11 and just surged forward ahead of everything else, wanting to crush the Chaos foe. So that was basically it. In the shooting phase, the Rock Lobbers really have got the man of the match award already. Both Rock Lobbers both landed in quite dramatic form, really. Both hitting the Nurgle Chaos Warrior unit, doing enough damage, I think killing about 7 of them in total, and they failed their panic check and fled off the table with the level 4 Chaos Lord Sorcerer of Nurgle in there. So that's going to give me a massive advantage in the magic phase and also nullify Sam's magic. The Doom Diver hit home and killed 5, I think it was, of the Chaos Marauders, and they also fled. So currently the middle section of the Chaos line is looking a little bit depleted. The Bolt Thrower didn't do anything, and obviously all the Goblin Shortbows are out of range. So Chaos turn 1, but so far, even with Chaos not rolling many dice. Oh, magic phase was basically nullified. What was it? 2 dispels, wasn't it? 3 dispels. Yeah, got a few spells off, but 1 was nullified by dispel dice, and then 2 were scrolled, weren't they?
Yeah, Mork Savers were the only spell you got off twice.
Yeah, but that wasn't really, that was more defensive. Right, okay, so Chaos turn 1 coming up. Okay, so at the end of Chaos turn 1, the Warhounds have moved around the edge of the old dwarf mine. Various other bits have moved forward. The Warhounds charged forward, or ran forward, should I say, unleashing 5 fanatics from 1 each from the 2 archers and 3 from this unit here. Needless to say, the Warhounds couldn't survive that. Other than that, obviously because the fanatics got released, the Chaos advance sort of held up a little bit. The Marauders at the back did pass their rally check, so they reformed. On the Chaos right, Demon Prince has moved over slightly. Other than that, again a slow amble forward until we get to their far right where the giant lurched forward. Unfortunately the spawn held up the trolls by rolling a massive 3 for movement. Into the magic phase, that was pretty much nullified. The Orc and Goblins now with 9 dispel dice versus 9 casting dice. Used a scroll on 1 spell. Other than that, dispelled everything that the Chaos Force managed to try and put out. Into shooting, the 1 success for the Chaos is the Marauders moving forward, just lobbed their axes at the Snotling Pump Wagon and have done enough damage to take the Snotling Pump Wagon out, and that's just sort of careered into the side of the building and been destroyed. There were some dead Snotlings. So, Orc and Goblin 2, although I say Orc and Goblin 2, Goblin 2. Actually, forgot to say, actually the Goblin Chariot did pass its panic check from the Snotling Pump Wagon getting destroyed. So that was the end of that. So turn 1 over, turn 2 for the Goblins. Okay, so end of Orc and Goblin turn 2, and state of the battlefield is over on the left side here. The Goblin Spearmen moved up and then got shoved by a magical hand of Gork into the giant. The giant managed to pick up one of the Night Goblin and eat him. However, they did pass the check because with the combat res etc. that worked. The River Trolls have moved into position to do something with the Giant next turn. The fast cav Wolf Riders advanced up and basically duked it out with the Spawn, losing 1. They did win the combat, but Spawn held. Over here we had a bit of a situation here. The Wolf Riders charged into the side of the front of the Nurgle chariot, and even though they caused fear and were scared, they did manage to inflict a wound, which was enough to send the chariot fleeing, and they ran it down and then ran into the fanatic just there and wiped themselves out. But it was a glorious death. Previously to that as well, one of the Orc catapults not misfired but misaimed and landed on one of the wolves and chipped a wound off the chariot as well. So that's basically what happened there, along with some more carnage from the other catapult, which managed to wipe out a few of the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. The other chariot over here got destroyed by a flank charge from Wolf Riders, and then the wolves literally just have run all the way over here now. The unit of Undivided fled from the destruction of a chariot, and that was pretty much what happened over here. Other than that, Skarsnik failed another animosity roll, and his unit decided to charge the back of the archers, and they duked it out and killed 1 each. We had another unit here with the level 4 wizard in, also suffer animosity, and also another unit over here also failed on their animosity roll. Stockney Pump Wagon obviously got destroyed, but that did free up the opportunity for the Goblin Chariot to charge the Marauder Horsemen, which it promptly destroyed, overran into the Shaggoth. And the last real bit of interest for the turn, the River Trolls managed to wipe out the Chaos Hounds and chase them down as well. So we've got some Marauders in the backfield fleeing, and they are in trouble. Other than that, Magic phase this time round, again, didn't really do too much of any massive note. Sam still had a couple of Dispel Scrolls left and utilised those. So Chaos Turn 2 coming up. Right, so end of Chaos 2. The Giant yelled and bawled at the Night Goblins, who promptly ran away, and the Giant chasing them. Chaos Spawn managed to wipe out the Warhound, not the Warhound, sorry, the Light Cav, Wolf Riders. We've got a load of fanatics here. Basically, Demon Prince charged into a big block of 20 Night Goblin Spearmen, took it in the face via the fanatics from 2 units. Unfortunately, this unit here released them, desperate to try and kill the Demon Prince. Did take quite a lot of wounds off. He's down to 1 wound left. However, did wipe out 14 of
16.
Was it 16 of Night Goblins? Yeah, it was a lot. Leaving not many left, unfortunately. Even though Demon Prince failed to inflict too much damage, he did break them and chase them down and wipe them out. Over here, the Shaggoth took a couple of wounds off the chariot, but did manage to destroy it with 1 sort of swing of his mighty axe. What else happened? Let's have a think. Ding, 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 ding. I think that's about it, really, wasn't it? Yeah. Magic phase was pretty uneventful, as the Demon Prince was in combat, couldn't really cast any magic missiles. So the other sorcerer got nullified. So into Goblin Turn 3. Okay, so in the Orc and Goblin turn, the Night Goblins that were running from the Giant continued to run, nearly home. The Giant charged the other Giant and yelled and bawled, and the Giant held firm and didn't manage to fall him over, which is a bit of a shame for me. Over here, not much left of the Khorne unit of warriors. They basically got quite a lot of brain bursting going on, as well as Mork's Warpath, by virtue of the fact that the Goblins are now controlling the magic phase fairly well. Down here, Skarsnik finally managed to pass an animosity check and moved his unit within range to unleash the fanatics onto the Demon Prince. Managed to take the Demon Prince out with a fanatic, however not before 1 catapult and the Doom Diver both fled from terror checks. Bolt Thrower did manage to pass its check, fired a mighty bolt into the Demon Prince, which would have killed him. Unfortunately, though, the ward save protected him. It didn't protect him from the fanatics though. Over in the middle bit here, where we've got a lot of carnage going on, we have the Wolf Riders who were fleeing managed to rally. Wolf Riders managed to charge the shag off and got absolutely wiped out, and fled away and got run down by the... Oh, actually, no, they didn't get run down by the shag off. No. Came through there, unfortunately hit the fanatic as well, and took another casualty, so they're probably not going to be coming back anytime soon. But yeah, magic phase was particularly pokey. Morpath went off and hit about 5 units. I think it killed 2 or 3 of the Tzeentch warriors here. Killed
3 knights.
3 knights of the Khorne. 5 marauders, that was right. And then, as I say, did quite a lot of damage there. So overall, very good turn for the Orcs and Goblins. Still potentially leading. There is a lot of dead chaos. However, you can never say anything when we have something in the region of 14 fanatics still on the table running amok. Plus, leadership checks are going to be the key to the Goblins actually managing to hold out here. But at the minute looking good. So Chaos turn 3. End of Chaos 3, and the Chaos Chosen Knights managed to dispatch the River Trolls and subsequently ran them down into the chariot. The Shagoth charged into the unit here, killed 3 or 4 but lost the combat res and ended up fleeing. Unfortunately for the Goblins, didn't quite catch him. This combat here, again, Chaos Lord and the 2 remaining Knights only managed to inflict, I think it was 4 casualties. Wasn't enough to break the Goblins. In fact, actually it did force a test on the Knights themselves. Over here, a couple of the Night Goblin archers got taken down by the Flame Spew, and as such obviously they fled, and both giants headbutted each other and did a wound each, and that is the end of turn 3, so into Goblin 4. Okay, so in Goblin turn 4, again quite a bit of activity on the magic front. Managed to kill a few guys off, noticeably the few of the Chaos Warriors here, couple of I think 1 Marauder and another one of the Marauders over there. Other than that, shooting wise, catapult, overshot, but then came back and landed on the Tzeentch warriors, who are no longer here, having been dispatched by the Night Goblins over there in combat and ran down. No animosity this turn either. The giants over here had a simultaneous fight, and the Chaos Giant headbutted the Orc Giant, but then he smacked him with his club and destroyed him, and he fell away from the giant, so luckily there. You can see there the Chaos Spawn, he basically has beaten the trolls in combat. One of them has, they took some wounds and fled from combat. Spawn chased but didn't quite get close enough. Other than that, was there anything else really of any note in that round?
Chariot died.
Yeah, the chariot got taken out by the Chaos Knights, who've overrun into the Wolf Riders now, continuing their charge of ruin on the right hand side. And that's it, so into Chaos 4. So yeah, that's basically the state of the game at the moment. Not a huge amount left for both sides, as stuff is starting to die on the Night Goblin side now as well. So over to turn 4. So end of Chaos turn 4. The Knights have destroyed the Wolf Riders there and have run off the table, so they'll be back where the dice indicates. As regards anything else that happened, a couple more Goblins died here, but the Lord and his 1 remaining guy failed to break the unit again and actually lost the combat overall. Over here, the unit of Goblins have been wiped out by the Warriors and the Marauders. Marauders flank charging them, destroyed them, and they've overrun into another unit of Night Goblins. The Giant took 2 wounds off the Spawn, yell and balled at him, won the combat against an unbreakable unit, so that was about as useful as a chocolate fire guard. And then the Hell Cannon launched its fire, managed to kill 1 archer, spearman and 2 wolf boys, but all passed their terror checks for the flaming spout. And that is now turn 5 for the Goblins, who really need to try and break some more of these units, otherwise they're going to struggle because they're running out of points on the table. So, end of Night Goblin turn 5, and the Squigs ran over the Marauders with the help of a spell, allowing them to fight first and then again in the movement phase. So they've managed to take them out and chase them down. And subsequently the Shag-Off in the Chaos turn has now charged into the Night Goblins, who are also attached to them. The Night Goblins over here, they actually only lost 1 casualty to the double charge off the Warriors and the Marauders. That forced them both to take a check. However, the Marauders double wonned it, which saved them both from destruction as the Warriors ran off and have subsequently rallied. Over this side, the Goblin Archers still fleeing. They also then subsequently forced the Rocklobber crew to run. The Rocklobber has gone, but the Arrow Boys, or whatever they are, still available to rally next turn. Miraculously, the Trolls have managed to pass their rally check, and the Giant in that last turn, was it? Yeah, he killed the Spawn, didn't he? Yeah, killed the Chaos Spawn. Other than that,
my Lord ran off.
Yeah, at the beginning of the Chaos turn, the Chaos Lord and last remaining Knight have run off, and he had the Eye of the Gods, so we're just going to thematically state that due to that, when he finally gets to the village on the other side of this battlefield, he's subsequently turning into a Spawn. So that's him, and into Chaos 5. Okay, so end of the Chaos 5, the Hell Cannon spewed its ichor over the Shaman that was in front of it, did a wound, and then basically ate him in combat. The Trolls charged in and spewed vomit over the Giant, and only managed, unfortunately, to do 1 wound, leaving the Giant on 1 wound. He turned around and headbutted one of the Trolls, did a wound. Over here, the Night Goblins took a couple of casualties, but won the combat res, and the Marauders held. And the Shag-Off wiped out, no, it didn't wipe out actually, broke the unit of archers and has overrun into the Wolf Boys. The Knights have come back onto the table, and basically that is, and the Chaos Warriors over the back there have rallied, and that is the end of 5. So into Goblin Turn 6, so last round for the Goblins, let's see what they can do. So got an opportunity here for the Orcs and Goblins. The Giant hit one of the River Trolls with a Chaos Trolls with a club, and they failed to vomit on him, even though the Giant only had 1 wound left. So Trolls fled, but managed to roll a 12 and have escaped the Giant. Over here, the Night Goblins beat the Marauders. Marauders completely fluffed their attacks, and Night Goblins managed to kill a couple and chase them down. But again, a huge roll of a 12 sent the Marauders flying. The Shag-Off beat the Wolf Riders in combat and has overrun into the Stone Trolls. Other than that, I've secured quarters, so I've got units in all quarters at the minute, and it is the final phase of the game. Oh, and these Squigs have they've charged into the Chaos Warriors, killed a few of them and chased them away. So it's all down to the last phase of the battle. Right then, so results are in. Not much happened in the Chaos Turn 6. Basically, the Shag-Off lost around combat with the Stone Trolls, and the Stone Trolls, unfortunately, Shag-Off passed his leadership check. Otherwise, he'd have been dead as well. Chaos Warriors ran off the table. Trolls continued running. So pretty much the Chaos Force was in disarray in Turn 6. 4 Knights of Chosen Knights were still left ready to fight, and Shag-Off was still there. But pretty much, or the Hell Cannon, but other than that, everything had pretty much gone. So overall, working it all out, the Night Goblins won by, I think, 1,817, so 17 points into a solid victory, rather than minor. So yeah, overall, great result for Skarsnik, as he's destroyed a massive Chaos force. No doubt, obviously, the Chaos will be back. So yeah, and Skarsnik continues on. Hopefully next time with a little bit less animosity, because that really screwed him up, and really he had no impact on the game whatsoever. Just couldn't get shots off, too many bodies on the table for 6x4, and obviously 2 turns of animosity left him right at the back. In fairness, the only thing his unit did was kill a goblin archer from an animosity test. So yeah, that was it really. So I hope you enjoyed that. A little bit different format, obviously, because the game we've been playing all day, and yeah, it's been a hard slog. But yeah, 5,000 point game, and just goes to show what the armies look like really. So I hope you enjoyed it. Do comment and like and do all the normal stuff, subscribe, etc. And we'll see you soon for some more Warhammer 6th edition battle reports, and possibly a review on the resurrection result sort of tournament as well. So that'll be coming soon as well, hopefully. Alright, so we'll see you soon. All the best, and thanks for watching.